Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a modern treehouse that includes an extensive hidden underground base. If you enjoyed this video, all I ask is that you please hit that like button, and if you do enjoy the video enough to like it, share it with a friend. Sharing is caring. But without any further ado, let's get started. So before we begin, I can tell you that we will require every single one of these materials that you can see in both my hotbar and my inventory right now. Please take your time to gather those materials. We will also require all of the space that you can see that I've laid out on the ground right now. This is the ground portion of the tree. Only requires a 5x4 block area, so it should be fairly easy to do. Please make sure that you have all the stuff you need. Make sure you've got enough room to make it, and then we can begin. And of course, pause if necessary. So, I want you to start out by placing a row of 5 jungle wood coming up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take that base jungle wood and go left by 3. 1, 2, 3. Go up by 3. 1, 2, 3. Right by 3. 1, 2, 3, and then connect back. So we have this shape on the ground. It's a 4x4 area. We then want to make all of those jungle woods as high as the very first jungle wood. So do whatever you need to do to make sure that all of those jungle woods are as high as that very first initial jungle wood that we placed, the row of 5. Perfect. So, once you've done that, we now want to grab the quartz slab, and we want to place a layer of quartz slab going all the way around the top of the tree. So, we just want to have, at the moment, a single layer of quartz slab going all the way around the top of the tree, like that. Add another layer of quartz slab to that. So, instead of just having that very single layer of quartz slab, we want to have the 2 layers of quartz slab, just like this. Then, I want you to add a row of quartz slab to the front of your platform, and also the back of your platform as well. So only the front and the back specifically have been extended outwards. And the end result of that is that you will have on the front of your platform 3 rows of quartz, the back 3, the left you'll have 2, and the right you'll only have 2 as well. Okay, next grab acacia wood planks. I want you to take each one of the 4 corners of your platform, except I want you to move inwards diagonally from the corners, and I want you to place a row of 3 acacia wood coming upwards from each corner. So like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Okay, next we have to fill in between the acacia rows. I'm going to place glass block in between the front pair of acacia. You can easily use glass pane if you like as well. You can also either fill in the back part of your platform in using glass block, or glass pane, or acacia. Either one. Make as much windows or as little windows as you like. The left side of this area is a little bit different, and it even requires us to grab ladders. So I'm going to use a row of ladders up the side of the tree. 1 row inwards from the back, like this. We will require deleting 1 quartz slab block, like that, so that we can get up the side of the tree. I'm then going to build up left and right of the ladders that I just created. I'm going to place white concrete coming up and right from the ladders. And then I have a choice. I can either fill this area in with acacia, or I can fill this area in with glass block, or I could have a mixture of the two. Perhaps the right side can be glass and the back side can be acacia. I'm going to add acacia fence around this part. You see, this is how we get up into the treehouse. Just like that. You can even opt to perhaps place like a slab at the top, connecting things together. The opposite side of the treehouse here is where things get a bit interesting too. I want you to add 2 rows of acacia coming in from both the left and right hand sides of the walls of the house, like this. I want you to place white concrete in front of the second rows, almost hanging off the platform. I'm going to fill the top of this in using quartz slab to connect everything together, as I did on the opposite side. I'm then going to want to place a row of quartz slab that extends from between both of the white concrete pillars, and then additionally left and right by one, like this. And then I'm going to place acacia fence in between the 2 white concrete pillars. This point of the tutorial isn't even necessary. I just like the idea of having a little platform, a little bit of kind of lookout / balcony area on the house. You don't even have to add it. I'm going to use quartz slabs around the top of the treehouse. So just begin by adding a simple layer around the top of the treehouse. When you get to the platform area, we want to copy what we have down below, meaning that once you hit this point, I want you to copy the placement of the quartz slab down below, like this. Now, I also want to add some lights into the top of the treehouse. This is fairly simple, but will however require leaves. I'm going to place a layer of jungle leaves that sits on top and around the glass / acacia frame of the house. Not yet on top of the quartz slab, but on top of this point of the house right here. We then want to place, well, it's kind of tricky to explain, but you can see where the hole in the center of the tree trunk is. Well, I want to copy said hole using sea lanterns, and I want to place sea lanterns in between the leaves where the hole is down below. We can't even see it anymore. And I'm going to place some quartz slab around the sea lanterns, like this, around the top of the sea lanterns, like this, and then acacia wood planks everywhere else, just to add a bit of light on the inside. We'll take a look at the inside a little bit later on, but that's looking pretty good for now. Okay, next thing we want to do is this. So I want to use jungle leaves, and I want to completely fill in the top of the platform. So ignore the fact that we have the small overhang on the opposite side of the platform. You guys can see the overhang right there. But if we just take into account this part of the platform is filled in. Okay, next I want you to place a row of jungle leaves extending out 1 row in front of the platform, 1 row in front, and on the back I want you to extend it 1 row backwards out of the back of the platform. On the sides I want you to add 2 rows, so on the sides 1 and then 2 rows like this. And then the opposite side also, I want you to place 1 and 2, just like this. So all in all, we will have this shape. But that's not quite right, because we want to just shave off 1 block here, 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 and here, just to make it more rounded, as you can see. We're then going to add a layer of leaves directly on top of the layer of leaves that we have added. The layer of leaves want to connect together at the corners to form a very solid, conjoined, connected, circular shape. Like, in the end, like that, which is pretty cool. We then want to place, above this, we want to place a layer of jungle leaves that, once more, the jungle leaves connect together at the corners like this, going all the way around. Just as you can see me adding right here. So, all the way around, just like this. Perfection. Now, once you have done that, we're going to add another layer of jungle leaves directly on top of this. So to make that row 2 blocks high in particular, we're just going to add, add it on top of here. Still getting used to those bedrock controls, ladies and gentlemen. This is really the first tutorial that I've made on the bedrock version on the Xbox. I'm very used to using the Xbox One version, so you'll have to bear with me a little bit. On the sides, we're going to place some jungle leaves to better blend the layers. So like in the middles, we'll take the, the middle blocks of the middle, like these, and we'll just raise them up a little bit. This will make the tree look a little bit more natural, and if natural is not the right word, which it might not be because it doesn't look that natural, it does make it look better, if nothing else, like that. Okay, we're going to add another layer of jungle leaves above and inside the top of the tree. So once more, we're going to make sure that they all connect together in the center, as you can see me doing right now. I'm just noticing, if you wanted to, we've got a pretty cool platform at the top of the jungle leaf tree. So if you wanted to, you could even add an additional hidden room at the top of the base. Maybe we'll even mess about with that idea a little bit later on. So far the leaves are looking like that. I just want to add one more layer. I think one more layer would look quite good just above this. I'm going to add one more layer of jungle leaves like this. So just directly above this, adding an additional layer of jungle leaves like that. And then like this, just to kind of fill the top in like that. That's nice and simple. It looks like the platform has a nice fuzzy green afro. I like it. Okay, next we have to take the area that we placed the ladders. You guys can remember this. And I want you to place white concrete left and right of the ladders. This seems like something we should have done earlier. I also want you to delete the quartz slabs at the base of the platform to further allow you to place the white concrete off the ladders. On the front of the tree trunk, I want you to place glass pane, and I want you to delete the middle-ish blocks and place glass pane in their place, like this. So, all in all, we've got a pretty easy, simple, modern-looking treehouse. And the fact that it's small kind of makes the next part that we're going to be working on a little bit later on a bit more impressive. A little thing that you can add to your treehouse, I love these hanging lights from treehouses. I love to hang using some sort of fence, in this case acacia. I love to hang acacia fence with a sea lantern on the end, and then I'm going to use acacia wooden trapdoors around the sea lantern, like this. I really like that aesthetic. I'm going to do the same on the opposite side here, maybe a little bit further along the tree, maybe about here perhaps. I'm going to, no, that's not going to join with the fence. I'll make it hang a little bit lower, perhaps about here. And I'm going to place the sea lantern with the acacia wooden trapdoor. Feel free to add more or less, or, some sort of other different lights or details if you like. I just think that looks kind of cool. I really do like that. Maybe even add some at the back if you like. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to work our way in the treehouse. And this is where we actually get to see our handiwork with the lights from earlier. Yeah, you see, that looks pretty cool, right? Whoops, fell into the hole. Another important point is to fill in the hole at the top of the treehouse using wooden trapdoors, because not only does it look cool, it will save you from falling directly into the hole. But yeah, that actually looks really cool. We've got a nice blend of the green, orange, white, and the blue of the sea lanterns. Really cool up here. Okay, let's talk about the hidden base below. So I'm going to open up the wooden trapdoors, and I'm going to jump into this hole. So we have to be able to move up and down this hole. Ladders are important, so set up a couple of rows of ladders leading all the way up to the top here. Make sure that you can actually get out. Yeah, we can get out that's perfect. But we also have to dig down. Whenever digging, I would always recommend the potion of night vision. Going to get rid of ladders for a little bit. Going to get rid of this. I'm going to grab some white concrete. We actually do need the quartz slabs. So potion of night vision. There we go. Potion night vision, white concrete, quartz slabs, acacia wood, a little bit of sea lanterns. Might even use a little bit of quartz stairs. Probably will need some ladders actually as we climb up and down the tree. Let's get started. So inside the base of our tree trunk, we're going to dig down. How many rows are we going to dig down, ladies and gents? Probably, let's dig down about 8 rows. This can be more, this can be less. It's up to you about your room size. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to make sure that that's right, because I might have double destroyed a block. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that's perfect. I'm going to pop the potion of night vision so that I can see. That's very, very important. And I'm going to hollow out this hole until it is... I think I did double destroy that first row. Let's check this again. If you're not sure about rows, just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I was right. Okay, so I'm 8 blocks down in my hole. That's important to note. What I want to now do is I want to hollow out the hole a little bit. I'm going to destroy 2 rows to the left of me, and I want the 2 rows to be... how high do I want these 2 rows to be? I want a pretty high ceiling, about 4 rows high. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to dig 2 rows out to the left of me, as I did discuss. And also 2 rows to the right of me, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a pretty decent sized space so far. How wide is this? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 spaces. You see, that just doesn't seem right, because it should be 6, of course, because I must have only just destroyed 1. That does it. Yeah, I only destroyed 1 space. That's fine. So 2 to the left of me, 2 to the right. But the deal is, I actually want more space than this. So I'm actually going to dig out another row. So I want to dig 3 spaces to the left of me and 3 spaces to the right, like this. And I think that will be a satisfactory amount of space. I'm then going to dig this entire area in front of me. I'm going to dig out 6 times more in total. So I'm going to have an 8 by 8 space. So like I'm going to dig 1 row, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. And then I'm just going to chunk out this entire wall like this. So pretty much just going to chunk out this entire wall, and then once we've done that, I think that we are going to we'll decorate the room. And when I say decorate, I mean decorate very, very loosely. We're going to just install the floors and the walls and stuff, and the lights and, you know, the infrastructure for the house. I will give you some inspiration at the end of the tutorial for what you might want to have your rooms look like. However, I am not going to be furnishing this house per se during the tutorial. So you're definitely going to have to keep in mind what sort of area you're looking for, you know, what you want the place to look like once you've finished it. So we now have something which should look exactly like this. Pretty big room. Well, what do I want to do next? I'll tell you what, for the aesthetic of the room, I actually kind of want to keep the tree trunk. Meaning, I'm going to destroy underneath all of the tree trunk, okay, like this. I'm going to destroy underneath the entire tree trunk. And I kind of want to raise it down into the ground because I like the aesthetic of it. Okay, so and this is going to kind of look cool inside the base afterwards. I'm going to destroy underneath all of these blocks, and then we'll just create a little hallway system. So I even want to destroy, I want to destroy this too as well, like in the ground here. And these are all just going to come down. So basically, when people come down into the base, you're almost going to be trapped inside the tree trunk still. Because tree trunks have trees, should I say, have really, really long roots. So it kind of makes sense that they would build all the way directly into the ground. Wouldn't it? I think it would. So we're just going to dig like this, like that, all the way down. We could even change the tree a little bit. Nah, I kind of like the mystique of this. So I'll tell you what, I'll refloor this. I'll put acacia planks in the floor instead. I'll add more ladders so that we can get all the way up to the top. It's kind of a long drop, right? All the way up to the top. Well, it does take us all the way up to the very top of the treehouse itself. So no wonder it's such a big drop. And then all you would have to do is like destroy like left and right of you, so you can walk out either way. And from the inside, you kind of got this kind of cool tree trunk vibe in the base of your hidden base. I'm going to destroy the floor. I want my floor to be acacia wood, and if anything else, I'll add carpet later. I'm not going to install any lights in the floor. I'm going to keep all of the lights segregated. Wow, there is a cave right below us. Kinda happy that we didn't hit the cave. Yeah, I'm going to keep all of the lights in either the walls, or more than likely, I'm going to keep them in the ceiling, just to try a different aesthetic. I kind of want to change a little bit. I usually make hidden bases and stuff sometimes in the same aesthetic because I have one that I really like and prefer. So this one is definitely a little bit different, just to cause you guys a little bit more of some different inspiration like this. So the entire floor is acacia. The walls I'm going to make white concrete. So I'm going to, I mean, this should be jungle wood, like in the corners, like here. That has to be jungle wood. But the walls are absolutely going to be made into white concrete rows, like this. Here. And the reason that it's white concrete, obviously it goes with the color scheme, because the color scheme is it's very jungle, very white, very blue. Those are, you know, that's the color scheme for the house. And the other good advantage with using, say, like a white block, or even just a light block, it doesn't have to be white, is that it's like a nice open color. It's like a large color. That's why you see in a lot of houses, like real life houses, oftentimes people opt, if they don't know what color to paint the walls, or if they're trying to sell it, or if they're trying to get rid of the house, or if they're just trying to make it look bigger, people use white because it definitely has that effect on people. White definitely does look a little bit bigger, especially in the context of like a room. It looks nice, big, empty, and it's nice and bright. You can definitely see the potential in stuff a little bit more. But you can absolutely change the walls to any sort of different color that you like. I like the idea of having color themed rooms, meaning that perhaps you could have a green room, red room, yellow room, pink room, whatever you want to do. I think that that'd be kind of cool. But this is the process that we go through to delete all of the walls. I'm sure that you guys could have done this without the tutorial, you know, figuring out how to knock out all of the blocks of wall and replace it. But we are going to be doing something a bit more interesting as well. For the ceiling itself, I want lights in the ceiling. And I'm going to place perhaps sea lanterns here in the ceiling, right, just behind the tree trunk. And I'm going to do a similar thing as to what I did earlier. I'm going to place some quartz slabs around the sea lanterns, like this, joining to the tree, which is actually kind of cool. And I'm just going to I'm going to chunk out the rest of the ceiling, and I think I'm going to place acacia in here instead. Originally, I did plan to place some white, but acacia contrasts. So that's why I'm placing acacia. And it's also the ceiling. The ceiling, we're probably not going to be looking up at it too much. An alternate idea is to kind of box the ceiling in, but I do this on so many tutorials, is to box the ceiling in using either quartz slab, or you could even use acacia slab. I use this technique a lot, which is why I actually didn't kind of want to do this, but I love how that looks, and I might even destroy that there. I really like how that looks. It just looks so modern. I love that pattern. In the walls, I'm going to chunk out some blocks, so like 1, 2, 3 here, maybe, and yeah, I'm going to keep it like that, and I'm going to destroy above it, place a row of, oh, can even place a sea lantern in there, that's perfect, and then quartz slabs above that. And then you could even actually place like acacia planks like in the walls. This creates shelves. So shelves you can put stuff on. It just looks kind of interesting to look at. You know, there's multiple things you can do. I'm going to destroy that sea lantern in the wall. Again, it's kind of like a common thing. I like placing light in the walls, and I like making it contrast. It looks so good though. I can't help myself. I love how that looks. And you could of course have like a long one at the back here as well, and maybe just keep it centered to this particular part of the house. Like, don't do it absolutely everywhere, because if you do the same thing everywhere, it does get a little bit tedious. So perhaps we'll even mess things up a little bit as we go by, but that can perhaps be a double one, and we'll place the acacia wood planks in it, and that's just an interesting room now. That's full of potential. What are we going to be doing next? Well, we have to, now that we've created this room, we have to create the 2 lateral rooms next to this one. So this is the middle room. To create the other rooms, all we're going to do is literally dig into the side here. And we're going to dig about 3 rows. Okay, so like 1 row, like 3 rows vertically. And then we're going to create a hallway. This hallway is going to be about 5 blocks long. So that'd be the first row. 2, 3, 4. Is that so? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that's going to be 5. Okay? I'm going to place a quartz stairs on the end here. And on the end here, acacia wood on the floor in between. Or maybe even white concrete in between like this. And then I'm going to, in the wall, right in the middle, because it's obvious where the middle is. It's right here. I'm going to place a sea lantern, maybe even set it a block backwards. And where are those? There they are. So the wooden trapdoors I'm going to place on the sea lanterns. And I'm also going to, I'm going to create the structure like with the white concrete as well. So like, I'm going to place a white concrete on the ends here where the stairs are, like this. With that I have on both sides of the stairs here. And also here, I want to have the white concrete, like this. And then I'm just going to place some acacia wood planks in between, just like that. And on this side here, I might even add an additional light into the wall here on the back, just for the sake of symmetry, and a bit more light too. So like here, like that. And then for the ceiling, I think we should make that white, because it just fits the floor, and that can be acacia. So, you know, that's a pretty decent sized hallway now. And I think I'll even, let's create that same hallway on the opposite side whilst it's fresh. So that hallway that we've just created, I want the same here on the opposite side. I want to knock out a row of 3, and then 4 more rows of 3, like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to place a quartz stairs on this side and this side. White concrete in between. I want to have white concrete next to the stairs. So the stairs that we have on both the left and right side. So here. And I also want stairs here as well. So coming up from the bottom and the bottom. Gonna have a sea lantern in the wall here and the wall here. So like right in the middle, as you can see. Hard angles to see. Acacia trapdoor here. Acacia trapdoor here. Acacia wooden planks around this, like that, and then above, and then around, like this, and also above, and then for the ceiling, white, ooh, that is not white concrete, that's very, very bright, some white concrete for the ceiling, and then that way you have 2 parallel and equal hallways. So you can see what we've done here. You know, we've kind of got like a cool set of hallways. Now, the rooms themselves at the end of the hallways. We'll have to do this twice, by the way. Same methodology twice, okay? I want you to destroy, as you are at the end of the hallway, I want you to destroy 5 rows in front of you. So all of these 3 blocks, like starting from the stairs at the bottom, like 1, 2, 3, these 3 blocks, 5 spaces. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Then destroy going that way, or you could even have it going the opposite way if you wanted to be kind of funky, like we want it to either go that way or backwards. But I'm going to destroy 4 more rows, so like 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just going to hollow out this area, just as I did with the main bedroom. So that's the main room, the middle one. That's where we've got like a lot of detail. That's very, very interesting. These 2 are lateral rooms. They're auxiliary rooms. They're not going to be big and fancy. They are just going to be nice and functional. So I'm going to replace the floor with acacia wood planks, as I did in the main room. If you want to color code these rooms, I love to make rooms a specific color. Make them a color. In the thumbnail, you will have seen that this is kind of like a red looking room. It's got like a red outline. I'd recommend make it a color. Make it like a cool red room. make it a green, make it whatever. The walls are going to be, I'm just going to slap white concrete into the walls. That's all the walls are going to be, ladies and gentlemen. Make it nice and functional. It's nice and functional. It's not boring because it's kind of like a two-tone. It is kind of cool to look at, but it is not as interesting as the first room, the main room. These are storage rooms, they're bedrooms, they're, you know, enchantment libraries and stuff. They're not like rooms that you're going to be spending loads and loads and loads of time in. They are very secondary to the first main room, is my thinking. So the ceiling, I'm going to place some light in the ceiling because it needs light. So I'll tell you what, I'll place a sea lantern directly in the ceiling. Same methodology. I'm going to place let's place some quartz slab around it. No. Let's place, we don't have it. So I'll tell you what, let's destroy an additional row in the ceiling. I've got a different idea here. I'm going to place acacia wood planks around this. I'm going to place acacia wooden trapdoors around the sea lantern like this. See how that looks? And then I'm going to chunk out the stone, and I'm going to see how that looks with quartz slabs. Now this might look awful. It's very, very possible, but it might also look kind of cool and be a bit more interesting. So we have made the ceiling a little bit higher in doing that. I mean, it's kind of interesting, right? You could even then put a trim into the top of the ceiling. You could kind of add like acacia into the top of the ceiling, or you could even add glass. Glass could be kind of cool. What I'm basically telling you is you can vary these rooms very, very much. You can add different little things to them. That's kind of cool, you see. And if I had an acacia slab, I'd actually add one above there, but I don't. So yeah, this is like the first room. Let's go over and do the opposite room. So we're almost done with this tutorial, I promise. On this opposite side, we once again want to knock out 5 rows. So like 1 row, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to dig inwards or backwards, either way, 4 more rows. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to pop that potion night vision. And then we're going to chunk out all of these stuff in between. And I'll tell you what, maybe we'll even make this room a little bit different. Maybe we'll add some light into the floor. And maybe we will make the walls a little bit different somehow. We don't have a lot of materials though on us, so I'm a little reluctant to make the walls and stuff different. But we will invert this a little bit. So I'm going to destroy the floor, right? I want to destroy the floor. I want to make it a tad more interesting. And you can, if you like, add a sea lantern in the middle of the floor. And then perhaps add some quartz slab around the sea lantern like this. So we've kind of got like a nice central point to this room. It does shrink the room though, that's the only problem. And then you can add some acacia wood planks around it. So very similar sort of to what we did in the other room, but it's kind of like inverted, like the ceiling has become the floor almost. Like that. If you wanted to, you could even kind of make it a little bit tad more interesting by adding quartz stairs around it, so that it kind of has a central point. The walls now are going to, once again, they're going to be white concrete, and I don't think I'm going to do anything crazy with the walls, because without additional materials such as like fence and stuff, I don't really want to grab it. You know, we're not going to be able to do too many different things. Although I did think of just a different light fixture then, but it kind of takes away from what we've just placed in the floor, so I don't think we're going to do it. So the walls are going to be, they're just going to straight up be this. If you wanted to, you can chunk out the wall a little bit if you want, and you can add, like, you know, you can add shelves and stuff into the wall. That's just an idea. If you want, you can add lights into the wall. You can do this, you can do that, you can do the other. There's many things that you can do with this base, if you like. Completely up to you. Now, the ceiling doesn't really require that we have any interesting lights or what have you. So I reckon that the ceiling, I might just straight up, I might put a pattern into it. So maybe like I'll put like acacia wood like running across here. No, maybe I'll make it a bit more modern than that. Maybe like acacia here, kind of here. And then I might add like quartz slabs here. Maybe like glass coming in between. and then maybe like quartz slabs up here. So these are just ideas that you can use for your rooms, and then I'll make the surrounding area, I'll make it white concrete. So like I'll get rid of all of these. Everywhere that we've used as slabs, I use white concrete. You could yeah, that looks perfectly fine. I think that looks kind of cool. So here and then here, this wall, I would probably put some planks in there just like that. Something like that, you know. You could even use like this sort of deal. But that's just some ideas for your rooms to make them a bit more interesting if you like, or make them white boxes. And that's pretty much everything, guys. So like we've got this room completed, we've got this room completed. If we come across the hallway here, we've got this room completed. That's all looking good. And if we come all the way up to the top of the house, which will take a while, quite lengthy, it is quite a large base. Then when we got up to the top here, we can close all of these wooden trapdoors, and people would be none the wiser. So like as you get outside the base, people will be none the wiser. You have a very extensive underground bunker stemming from that house right there, that small tree house. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is fun time. That is the tutorial pretty much complete, but I am going to furnish it and then show you around, just in case you want to have a look at what it looks like once it's actually got stuff in it, what you might do with the interior, but I'm not going to be providing a tutorial. You're just going to have to pause in select places if you want to copy me. So let's do it. This is the main part of the treehouse. This is the part where you climb up into. You might want to store some armor and some of your more abundant materials up here. There's not plenty of storage space, but there doesn't have to be, as we have a massive underground lair, which we'll be moving on to next. Let's begin with the main room of the underground bunker. So down here is pretty much the crafting area, the giant storage area. It's pretty much the place that you're going to be using most of the time to get all of your crafting done, to get your smelting done. It's the utility area of the bunker. Let's move on to the bedroom area now. The bedroom area has enough room for 2 people. It has an ender chest, color-coded shulker boxes, and a shared storage area too, which could easily be split up. This room hasn't been heavily furnished, as there's not loads of room in here, and a lot of the design has been added into the wall, floor, and ceiling, so that really doesn't require too much more than that. The opposite side of the bunker has been turned into an enchantment library, which I find to be very, very cozy. And that is all it is. It's a little bit of a storage area, a little bit of an enchantment library, and it's on the opposite end to the bedroom. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's up to you whether you want to take any of those design tips into action, or whether you just, and I recommend this, just make the rooms your own. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys liked the video. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button and share it with a friend. Sharing is caring. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, please click the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. And of course, if you would like to make anything else by me, check out the card system and the description below. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gents. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye!